Welcome back to the Hobbit Hikers adventure in Costa Rica. I woke up in my new hotel room after being attacked by army ants the night before. Yes, my feet are on fire, but I really liked the grounds of this hotel. Like, it's so pretty and you get to walk through little jungle bits just to get to breakfast. Look how dirty my hokas got. I headed to breakfast after I did not take a shower because I was like, you know what, who cares? It's Costa Rica, it's humid, I'm gonna feel dirty no matter what. So, I took a shower the night before and called it a day. I love all of the fresh fruit in Costa Rica, especially the papaya and the pineapple. And of course, we had the same traditional Costa Rica breakfast. It's eggs, beans and rice, little sausages or hot dogs, fried plantains, and the best coffee you're ever gonna have in your life. It was really nice to eat outside and listen to all the little birds while I sat and had my breakfast. And then it was time to load up onto the bus, the dreaded bus that we spent so much time on. Today was supposed to be spent in the rainforest again, but of course our plans had to change because of flooding. So instead we are headed to the Don Juan coffee farm. We are still in La Fortuna. We're actually really close to the Arenal volcano. Also, Yvonne, what? You can play the marimba? We had no idea. I spotted this cool bug. It's a grapevine beetle. I'm sorry, it was already dead. Now, this coffee tour was not on our original itinerary. It was on the same itinerary from 2 years ago. But the chocolate tour is on the itinerary, so technically we were supposed to be here, kind of. And I've done this before, so I knew what to expect, but I told everybody to keep their eyes open because the last time I was here, I saw a baby sloth. This bird is called a chachalaca, but I want to call it chacalaca, but it's called chachalaca, and we got to see one. I also spotted this red-crowned woodpecker, and I was really, really excited to see him. I honestly really like going to the coffee tour because of all the animals. That is a blue-gray tanager, and it's eating some bananas that they left out for the birds because they are trying to attract even more wildlife into this ecosystem. Because here's where they grow coffee beans and cacao beans. And the more you feed the birds, the less they're going to eat the plants you want them not to eat. And they're going to go ahead and help bring more life into that ecosystem to help fertilize everything. And I already know what this tastes like. The taste, delicious. It's sweet, but the texture is like eating absolute slime. I'm already not looking forward to it. I know myself. I put it in my mouth, immediately spit it out. The texture is foul. And I was like, okay, don't be a little bitch, eat it anyway. And I tried, and I just can't do it. I can't do it, y'all. I wish I could control my face when I don't like the taste or the texture of something, but I just can't. That's autism, baby. I tried to stay with the group and take lots of videos and pictures, but also I kept getting distracted by all of the wildlife and all of the coffee and all of everything we were looking at. Here we are learning about the process of drying and fermenting the cacao beans so that they can become sweet and make chocolate, and even those serve a purpose because the bees drink all of the sweet syrup that comes off of them and it gets them a little bit drunk, so they're always happy. This plant is called a golden shrimp plant. I thought that was cool. Here is the process of how they make the cacao beans, and now it is time for us to make our own homemade chocolate. I was actually pretty excited to make my own chocolate bar because I did this 2 years ago and mine tasted like absolute dog shit. I don't know what I did wrong last year. I just know it was super bitter and ugh, it was just terrible. So this year I was determined to make it better and to make it sweeter and to make it taste like actual chocolate and not like poop. Everyone got to take a turn at grinding up the cacao beans, and we just kept adding more because we needed enough for everybody to make their own chocolate bar. It looks a lot easier than it is. It's actually pretty hard work. You take more than one hand and you actually have to use 2 hands, but Janelle, of course, was like, I got this. She's always having a good time. And of course, the guys who work there, they can do it with one hand. They just get in there and do it. And I was like, look at me, I'm a pro. And I was like, just kidding. My shoulders and wrists don't work. Who are we kidding? They gave all of us these little blue stickers when we got there, and we were like, what's that for? To say that we're on the tour. Turns out it's to close your package after you're done making your chocolate because they put it in the freezer after you're done. Also, look how cute that is. It says Airbnb. It's a little bee house for little bumblebees and honeybees. And now it is time to make our homemade chocolate bars. And here's everybody sort of trying to put on a happy face, but it's hot and we weren't supposed to be here today. But it's time to make it anyway. And yeah, it does kind of look like dog shit on a plate, but that's how they're always gonna start. They put all of these ingredients on the table for you to mix in. This is dehydrated milk, so like powdered milk. I put a bunch of that in mine because I don't like dark chocolate that much and I wanted it to be less bitter. There is also brown sugar, which I added a ton of because I wanted it to be sweet. And then the people who worked there would come around and put little bits of water in. Oh look, more milk for me so that it's less dark. There's also salt, which makes a big difference, and you can add coffee to it. You can add little pieces of ground up rice to add some texture to it. And yes, we all have doo-doo fingers now because we made homemade chocolate. I did not, I just used a fork because I was being a weenie about it. Then once it's done, you scrape it off the plate, you form it into a little square, and you put it inside a plastic bag so they can freeze it, but he did mine for me.